Cuaca terang, cuaca mendung dari Pulau Pinang ke Kota. Membentuk biar dari rebung budaya suka membaca.
Yo.
Thank you. Okay, so that brings me to our topic, which is bringing the written word to digital natives. Yeah. So can you go back? Okay, alright. Who remembers the days when we could recite phone numbers from memory? Masa kita kecil memang boleh kan? But the thing is, now we don't have to memorize because we have outsourced that ability to phones. Okay? Now the question I would like to ask is, what happens when we outsource imagination and visualization? Because now children are bombarded with images 24/7, right? The power of imagination is being outsourced. So what will happen to that? And what happens to introspection? Yeah? Atrophy. This is when our critical thinking capacities and ability to make meaning, it atrophies. Okay? So let's look at the difference between reading and watching and listening to the news on social media. Reading actually means we interact with the text and we make meaning using our own voice in our own head without being influenced by anybody. However, when we're watching and listening, we're absorbing the information from another person's voice, meaning they have already formed an opinion. We are absorbing everything that has been packaged for us. And when the children do interact, they are actually only interacting in the comment section, where they read to respond rather than read to understand. Okay, so this is an example of how we get students to read. Yeah, in this next question, if you can answer this question, you get a prize. Alright? Okay, you want to try, little buddy? Okay, this page is about storybooks. Okay, now you must find the page that is about storybooks. Yeah? Okay, so this is the content. Which page do you think is about storybooks? So we have editor's note, the big story, world news. Who can answer? Okay, you can come and answer. Anybody want to try? Ada hadiah kalau answer, ada hadiah. Yes, okay, come. Okay, which one is about storybooks? Big story, yes. Other than that, where is another keyword about books? Where?
Books and read in 2023.
Yes, books to read in 2023. Please give a huge round of applause for him. Okay, so now you can go to the back. We'll give you a free prize. Okay. So this is where we get students to interact with the text. When it's physical, they touch it and they interact with it. Okay? Can we play video number 4, please? Okay, this is a feedback from my student, and we can read the subtitles. Okay, here is where I asked my students about using online and physical, and this is the answer that she gave. She said that using this magazine is, she likes it better because nowadays students really spend a lot of time on the screen. So even a 12-year-old girl could say that screen time is affecting them. They actually prefer to use physical copy. Yep. Okay, we can go back to the slides. Okay, so the impact in the classroom. When students don't read enough, this affects their writing. Next. Okay, so this is an example of how my student writes. And they are like, oh my God. Okay, first of all, they started the sentence with N. And then they write it as if they're talking in a YouTube video. Okay, next. Okay, so this is an essay that my student wrote. They must write email kan for sekolah rendah. So he wrote, to Lionel Messi, subject school. Instead of dear Lionel Messi, dia tulis, my man Lionel Messi. So that was when I realized that, okay, maybe our students are not reading the magazines enough because they like to write at the way they speak. So that's when I made this magazine, school magazine, and tried to improve their writing, formal writing. However, I still saw that I found my students still writing like this. Mwahaha, oops, sorry. So although it's a magazine, they still like to write as if they are interacting with someone in person, which is not bad, but I would like them to learn how to write more formally. Okay, so what happens when we give them a children's newspaper to read, yeah? Okay, this is fine. I will just talk about it. So these are my students. What's interesting was that when I asked them to describe this material, they call it a book. This book is very colorful. But that's when I realized magazines and newspapers do not really exist in children's lives today. In school, if I want to teach them how to do a newspaper review or newspaper clipping, I have to tell them 1 week in advance so that they go and tell the parents to buy. So this is a very interesting thing for them. Okay, you can see that it's a very interactive activity, and News Bites is the only teaching aid that I just give it to them and I don't have to say anything. They start reading on their own because it's so engaging, and they share it with their friends, and there are also like interesting crossword puzzles for them to engage in. And these are some of the products that they came up with. They created their own magazines. And these are some of the activities that we do in class, word hunt and speak your mind. This is an example of an article review, but we don't really have time to watch the video. Okay, we have one last interactive session. Okay, so if you can answer the question, you get a free news bite. So we have A, Charizard, B, Eevee, C, Bulbasaur, and D, Pikachu. Okay? You're gonna read the text and you need to answer the question, yeah? Okay, your time starts now. Okay, the keyword is flame. Okay, who can tell me the answer? Okay, come.
Charizard.
Charizard, A, very good. Okay, you get a prize. You can get a prize there. Good job. Okay, get ready for the next question. Okay, your 10 seconds starts now. Okay, you want to try? Okay, you can come and try. Next, please. Okay, alright. Bulbasaur, what's the answer? A, B, or C? Or D? C, yes, correct. Okay, you can get another prize. Okay. Okay, so these are examples of activities that we do with children because they have to read and they interact with the text. Okay, reading is about making meaning and not just about copying and pasting or filling in book reports. And I hope more people can read News Bites and bring it to your children. That's it from me. Bye-bye.